Hello everyone. I have some updates regarding the Sewol tragedy here in South Korea. I'm of course referring to the ferry that sunk off the southern coast of Korea on Wednesday morning that unfortunately had an entire high school class on board. Now, at this time, which is, as I said, about 4 p.m., it's come to light that Captain Lee Jun-suk fled the vessel about 40 minutes after the accident, as well as up to 10 different crew members. One crew member did say that an evacuation order was issued some 30 minutes after the accident, but survivors say that they didn't hear any instructions, leading some to speculate that if an order was issued, it wasn't made via the PA system. Jeju Control ordered the ship to evacuate all personnel and all passenger 4 minutes after the first distress call, but again, no evacuation orders were made via the PA system. There are also some conflicting stories told by crew to investigators as to who exactly was steering the vessel at the time of the accident. Now, as I said, it was under the command of Captain Lee Jun-suk, but it doesn't appear he was at the helm and possibly not even on the bridge. It does look as if the third officer was at the helm, and that is in violation of Korean maritime operation laws that state that for a vessel this size, the first or second officer must be at least at the helm. Now, there's been a lot of government criticism for being slow to respond and not doing enough, but we also have to take into consideration the inclement weather that's been in the area, very harsh currents, low visibility, rain. They just haven't been able to do a lot. However, and this was really a big blow to the families and to a lot of people who are very concerned about the safety and welfare of the students. It was originally reported that as of 7 p.m. Wednesday evening, some divers had been able to penetrate the hull and explore a few of the compartments. Just moments before I recorded this video, it was announced that no divers at any time have been able to penetrate the hull. Now, it's also come to light that there have been a lot of text messages regarding the students. Now, this is what I can tell you about the text messages. Now, some of the text messages that have been relayed in the press that come from the students themselves or from the family members during the time of the actual sinking, those appear to be authentic. However, subsequent messages have all been declared false by police and other investigators. Now, what's really sick about this is there's actually a financial scheme going around where someone will send a text message to a concerned person, have some of the conversation from a quote-unquote Sewol student, ask the person to go to a website and make a financial donation. This is a scam. Police are trying to crack down on it. If a person clicks on such a link, goes to that website, it installs malware on their phone, and carriers are now trying to distribute a vaccine for that malware. Now, finally, there are a lot of, like I said, criticisms against the government, against those that are conducting rescue operations. And some have been saying that, or questioning rather, is Korea really a developed nation? How can a developed nation allow something like this to happen? And I don't even know how to respond to that. This is certainly a bad situation, and hopefully more will be done and more can be done to hopefully rescue those that are still trapped inside. At this point, it seems very unlikely in this kind of temperature and under these kinds of conditions. Best estimates are usually only for a few hours after being put in the water. If students are able to find compartments of air inside, hopefully they can last, but we're talking over 50 hours at this point, so it's really unlikely that once divers are able to get inside, they may be able to find any survivors. But there is hope, because recently there was a sunken vessel a few months ago that divers were entering the vessel on a recovery mission, not a rescue mission, but a recovery mission. And they found a cook in the kitchen alive after 3 days of being there. So there is still hope. So don't lose it. And finally, Korea has canceled, postponed, or scaled down many of the festivals taking place throughout the month of April into May. So that's it as of just about 4 p.m. here on Friday afternoon. My thoughts and prayers go out to the family members affected by this tragedy. And as more information becomes available, I will be sharing it on the @Asian News Weekly Twitter account. So be sure to follow it for updates.